Altcoin season canceled. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name is Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet. And starting with Bitcoin, we have 108,000 is really where we want to be sitting around for some support, while that 200 EMA is coming up and holding it as well. We want to see this start pushing upwards, obviously, before potentially seeing another retracement and then having that consolidation upwards, failing out an inverse head and shoulders, in my opinion. Could I be wrong? Yes, I've been wrong in the past. But Bitcoin, I mean, with what happened in the market, what was it, Friday, October the 10th? The government shut down and that caused chaos. It's not something that we don't see in the market. It happens all the time, except this time it was very dramatic, as we could say. This is going to be a video on XYO and DNT, as well as Tornado Cash always, because that's the only one in profit. But XYO is having a violent retracement. However, I want you to keep in mind, this is pulling back very fast and rapidly. And as we see that with the bull market, it usually has a retracement. So this downward trend line right here, this black trend line right here, that is the resistance we need to be breaking. If we invert this and look at it in a different perspective, we can see that we are trying to build a higher high. In this case, it is a lower low, but a closing above this area where it says head. We are far away from that 200 EMA, and typically when it pulls way far away, it has a retracement. We see we had a pull way away, major retracement, keeping the 200 EMA close at this point, but then further rejection before ultimately getting pulled back to the 200 EMA, consolidation, and then taking off. So it's just a matter of time since the market got slaughtered. It's just a waiting game to see what is going to happen. If you have entered into XYO from my videos, I apologize, because pretty much everything I've been talking about, there's just no predicting it. It's just we're making technical analysis and we are doing our best with what is given to us. Who would have thought the government would shut down? Who would have thought COVID would happen right before we had the takeoff previously, which I'm actually going to bring up going back to Bitcoin, because I get about 3 minutes of your time watching these videos. But back here was COVID. So my boss was telling me, don't buy Bitcoin, even further. Jesus Christ, no, it's this way. I apologize. Where is it? That's this, 2020, right? That's when we had COVID? COVID. This is COVID, I believe. I think it was put on a different chart, but from here, 10,000 down to 4,000. Ridiculous mayhem that should have never happened, but it kept the market nice and low, giving people the opportunity to buy back in. And with that, the ultimate outcome was a major push to the upside. So this being the government shutdown, could we see a further retracement back down to 0.004? That's a possibility. You have multiple very good entries anywhere below this black trend line before it has to rip back up, breaking the downward trend line and the 200 EMA at the same time. And then this thing may have a little bit of consolidation, anywhere between 0.01 and 0.013 more or less, before ultimately taking off to new highs. XYO, as well as the rest of the market, it's just unfortunate. There's nothing you can do about it. DNT, same thing. Major rejection off this downward trend line. The CM Guppy is pushing it downwards, but we have some support right here around 0.02 cents. If that breaks, you could have a quick retracement down here around 0.0155. So that's kind of where you're looking at for the rejection. However, the upside for something like DNT, 25 cents from roughly a penny and a half or 2 cents, pretty good ROI for that coin. And lastly, always recommending it, Tornado Cash, the only coin in profit since our entries at 750, 11, 13, I guess is a little under but everything looking healthy and stable, keeping the 200 EMA nice and close. And when that gets real close, it has the potential to just launch this thing upwards. As we saw last time it was near this, at $10.79, it shot up to around $21. And then that retracement, we could see that shooting up to 21, 22, 26, and 39. But Tornado Cash is very, very healthy. Can be traded on Mexi. Reference link in the description below. Good luck. Have fun with it. I will see you on the next one.